Women's tennis is a lower level than men's tennis. That's not controversial, and it's not a criticism or disrespectful to women to say that. It's not a reflection of their talent or commitment in any way. Even Serena Williams agrees on this, on record as saying, "Andy Murray would beat me 6-0, 6-0 in 5 to 6 minutes." For quite some time, and increasingly so as we go back in time, the narrative has been that because women's tennis is of a lower level from a power and speed perspective, it is therefore axiomatically worse to watch. Whilst there might have been a period of time when this was a fair opinion to hold, it doesn't hold up very well at the moment. For a lot of people, tennis isn't just about RPMs on the ball, average forehand speed, average serve speed, and so on. It's about narrative, jeopardy, rivalries, and intrigue. These things aren't intrinsically connected to technical speed and power. It's more about variety and aesthetics. If a match looks exciting to the eye of the average viewer, then it is exciting. No further analysis should be required. Close rivalries are important because they make matches feel high stakes, and it makes the outcomes and scorelines feel variable and unpredictable. This makes people feel like they are tuning in to watch the next chapter of a story they don't know the ending of, rather than just turning up to watch forehands and backhands. I think an interesting tennis landscape is one with an optimum level of consistency. This leads to a good level of predictability. You want to know who the favourites are, but you don't want to be near certain of the result in the biggest matches. This is what you currently get with the WTA Tour. That arguably is what's missing from the ATP Tour, especially with Alcaraz's absence. One way of thinking about this is to consider the top heaviness of the rankings. A lot of people are talking about the top ATP players in terms of gaps. That is to say, Sinner and Alcaraz are significantly better than Zverev, who is in turn significantly more consistent than the players below him. Djokovic exists to the side in this conversation, arguably because of his very high level, but light schedule. In the women's game, the gaps are more subtle, and there is a more gradual decrease in level and expected performance as you move down the rankings. For example, there is a gap between Sabalenka and Rybakina, but it's not extremely pronounced, and there are some aspects, such as being the most recent Grand Slam champion, in which Rybakina leads, and other aspects, such as points, in which Sabalenka leads. Then you move down from those big two, for want of a better phrase, and you find players such as Goff, who still defends a Grand Slam title, is a two-time Grand Slam champion overall, and definitely can beat Sabalenka, but hasn't recently played Rybakina. So there's an interesting missing piece of data there about how those two match up in their current form. Alongside Goff, you'll find Swiatek, who has arguably been even less consistent, but we must remember is a 6-time Grand Slam champion. Still the current defending champion at Wimbledon, and so you can't write her off, even in terrible form, especially in a tournament like Roland Garros. So on the WTA Tour, there's a higher number of players who feel like they can win big tournaments, across the top 10 and maybe even beyond. So perhaps a key ingredient for an interesting tennis tour is the right number of top players who have a balance of consistency and unpredictability.